welcome back to Soul Star Radio. I'm Jacquelene Moore, and I am joined, of course, by our resident doctor, Dr. Anthony. We're at Chinese medicine. Welcome back to the show, and sorry about my hopeless introduction.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on again.
Yes, absolutely.
Welcome back to Whittlesea.
Welcome back. It's a lovely place at the base of the Kinglake Ranges in Victoria, in Australia, and it gets cold here in winter.
Not as cold as America.
Not as cold.
We're actually probably a joke compared to the beautiful American weather winters that they get.
Yes.
Like, we get down to like 1 degree. We think it's cold.
-4 sometimes.
Yeah, on a rare day.
On a rare day.
But still possible.
I remember
absolutely.
those days.
Correct.
I remember wood fires. I remember chopping wood.
Correct.
Loading it into the fire and going, I hope it warms out.
Or even cook your breakfast with it.
Yep.
That's what we had to have.
Nothing quite like eggs on the fire. But we're talking about the element of water, which kind of has a winter connotation.
It does.
You were saying.
It does. So water is winter, the season of winter, the colour of blue. The sound of groan. The thing is with water, that's right. They're either in stillness, a water element person. They're either in stillness or they're rapidly all over the place.
Yes.
There's with water element people, there's no happy medium.
Literally.
They're either completely stagnant or completely flowing. And the funny thing that I like with water element people is their opinion is your opinion, whether you like it or not, because water infiltrates and flows everywhere. So their opinion is everywhere. They're a very strong character, the water element. Although when they're not quite right or we have a blockage, they become stagnant and putrid. So we need to work on their kidney and bladder meridians to clear that out, to increase urination, to clear out the meridian, to make them a stronger person. They have a rule. The best thing about water element people is their strong determination to get things done. So a lot of CEOs, political leaders are quite water elements. It's their way or the highway. They make an opinion and make a decision and they don't look back. They're always forward flowing when they're flowing right. When they're off target, they become stagnant and still like a pond and they become festering. So we have this dampness accumulating in the body, which then with a combination of heat becomes damp heat, which becomes sweat, which becomes putrid, which becomes smelly, which becomes water retentive. So then they start swelling up. And they don't like humid, hot days. Melbourne gets a few humid days these days, but a more Queensland-style weather, which is really bad for water element or damp retaining people. So we work a lot on their kidney and bladder element to flush that out. They groan a lot. So in their voice, one of the telltale signs is they groan because everything's an effort and hard to do.
Yep. Yeah, wow.
Which is...
I'm thinking of a few politicians right now.
Correct. And they work off the emotion of fear too, which is a political...
Yep.
We all know our leaders around the world and most of them would fit into this water character.
Yep.
The other thing with a water element patient is they normally have a full head of hair. Is another water element sign. Correct. Can also
remember, like Bob Hawke, he had
absolutely,
hair.
And
he actually kind of reminded me of and he also kind of reminded me of a rather excited cockatoo. Like this, and the crest going.
He does have that look about him, even now as a retired politician.
Yes.
But both sides of politics, if you look at the leaders, they're mostly water element, my way or the highway, and I don't do anything wrong. It's like a flood, a rush of water running down a river. It just moves and doesn't look back. The damage is done, be it good or bad. And like I said, it's their highway, their way or the highway.
Yep.
And their opinion is it. Yours isn't.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, we don't. Us other element patients don't dare argue with a water element.
Yes.
Well, I do because I'm a practitioner.
You can get away with that stuff.
And that I do, correct. What else do I need to know? They smell a bit like ammonia when you do the smelling of the patient. 5-element acupuncturists actually smell the patient.
Just think cats.
Just think catwag, yeah, catwag. That's basically the smell behind a water element. But they're really, like all the elements, like all of us, we're really nice people and There is different attributes per element, and that's how 5-element practitioners treat. First, we identify the element they are. Now, this isn't their birth element.
No.
This is the
We've done some talk about that.
We have.
For example, my Chinese astrology using stem branch Chinese astrology actually comes up. The highest amount is fire and then metal, but in a constitution, I'm actually earth.
Right, and I would say you're an earth.
Because you were saying constitutionally I'm earth, which I agree with, because you've shown me a bit about the 5-element stuff, and I'm like, that fits me.
Yep.
But on a Chinese astrological level, mostly fire, then metal. So it does not always translate exactly on that level. But also, if we think of the Constitution, it's a very separate thing, I guess, to necessarily their actual personality.
Correct.
But it's more how their health is reacting.
And how they were brought up by their parents up to the age of 4, when the Constitution's set, or their morals are set by the age of 4 anyway, and in this world, their Constitution's set by the age of 4.
Yep.
So you can have 2 people born on the same day, 2 totally different elements, even though the astrology chart says they're actually the same.
Yep.
In the world of 5-element acupuncture, they're actually not. It's the way they were brought up.
Yep.
And you can spend hours going through each particular element and how the childhood splits. And you can't go from water to metal, you're one or the other.
Yep.
You can have traces of one element, absolutely. But the core existence is, as we're talking about today, is the water element. And of course, as I said, that affects the bladder and the kidney meridian, and they'll always have bladder kidney issues.
Do they have trouble with heating and cooling, like the hot hands or the cold hands?
They do get quite hot if they're out of balance. And so this is when we talk about the retention of water, add heat to it, we have damp heat. So they'll sweat easy, they'll sweat on cool days, and they blow up, basically. And the humid weather is the worst thing for them. Northern Queensland or Queensland weather is the worst thing for water element patients with heat retention. So, of course, we add acupuncture points. Large intestine 11 here near the elbow is what I use to regulate the body's temperature. And it's right beside large intestine 10, which I use as a sleep point.
Which I think I was just pressing.
You were. Yes. And it's actually quite sore. So just on that, when I treat an athlete with an injured elbow, one of the questions I ask, how's your sleep? No, I can't sleep. I touch them here. They go, oh, my God, that's sore. That's your sleep point. We clear the sleep point, so we're clearing the pain, clearing the blockage. So we reduce pain, clear the blockage, and they sleep beautifully, which allows the body to heal. The body heals itself beautifully when it's asleep. It's the best time.
Yeah.
So I'm great for nana naps, and I pulled an all-dayer the other day.
Fantastic.
I went all day without a nana nap. I was wrapped. But anyway, so yes. So
I'm quite at this stage of my life, I'm quite the one for the nana naps every now and again.
Oh, look, I'm all for it.
Fantastic.
Just don't be driving.
No. Probably don't nap while driving.
Yeah, no. Auto cruise control doesn't mean climb in the back and have a sleep with the car.
I did test the steering on my new car to see,
Beautiful.
And so I drove down the road, hands at the ready, but not actually on the steering wheel.
That's the shot.
I managed to go for about 1.5 kilometres, just
steering with your knees, eating your muesli. You were eating when you.
No, I was actually just testing the alignment and everything.
Beautiful.
This is just light as a feather.
And slightly tap the brakes and pull one the other way.
Fantastic.
Mate.
I'm in seventh heaven.
Love it.
It's helping me because that helps with the whole arriving rested, which can be an issue.
Absolutely, for busy practitioners.
For busy practitioners like us. And so when we're dealing with water element people and or they're a bit blocked, what sort of points can we press to get, I guess, the hydration going again?
Yeah, so...
besides obviously needing to drink water.
Drink water's number one. Funny enough, water elements need water just like the rest of us do.
Do they need more water?
Look, I'm a 2 to 3 litre a day person, and I'll always tell every patient that walks in the door you need to drink 3 litres, knowing they'll only drink 2.
Yes.
If I tell them to drink 2, they'll drink 1.
Correct.
But then they start counting up their cups of tea, their Coke, their Milo, and I go, totally ignorance to that.
Yep.
I need you to drink 2 to 3 litres of just pure water by itself. So points for our water element patients are, of course, the bladder meridian.
Yep.
A spleen as well controls water. So spleen, bladder, and kidney meridians are the one we use for those. We always nourish heart, so I always add Shenman, heart 7, just in here is one of my favourite points. All fertility patients get that. All footballers get that. Everyone gets a heart nourishment. And it's amazing, Jacqueline, when you mention the word, by the way, today we're going to nourish, part of my principles of treatment is move pain, calm the Shen, and I'm going to nourish your heart. When you use those words, you can see them well up.
Yeah,
because here's a practitioner who actually cares for a patient, and not only is he going to fix my elbow, he's going to nourish my heart. That sits beautifully with patients.
Also, the thing is, they might not even understand the terminology on a conscious intellectual level, but when you're saying that, it goes right through, I notice, because I can say, oh, you know, and they'll give me the date of birth and someone, I go, oh, they're a fire rooster Leo, and they'll go, oh, I get it now. And you're like, yeah, right. So I'll be explaining that. So when you're saying this stuff, is the release also them hearing that and hearing the energy, I guess, of that, and being able to go, also, yes, you care, but, he knows what he's doing, and I feel safe.
And it resonates with
Yeah.
It resonates not here, but here.
Yeah.
So this is, as practitioners, we treat to here. We treat from here to here, not here.
Would you say that it's the heart or the brain that holds memory more?
I'd say the heart. The brain's merely a tool for the rest of the body. The heart holds heaps, and I've seen tons of... I treated a lady the other day for a dry mouth syndrome, which was actually heart resonance flaring up, heart heat flaring up from an emotional disturbance that happened years ago. Well, during the consultation, she had an abortion years ago that her husband was unaware of, and now it's coming back to haunt her, so to speak. Unfortunately for this couple, he was unaware of what had happened years ago and totally dismissed my diagnosis and said, she's got nothing to be upset about. Okay, no worries. That's exactly what I did. I went, no worries. Where she, in the room, was crying her eyes out. On a physical level, it was a B12 deficiency. On an emotional level, it was a heart heat caused by sadness due to an emotion attachment 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that she hadn't processed. So, yes, what was the question?
I think you've answered it. Okay, so the heart and the kidney talk too.
Oh, absolutely. There's a beautiful relationship between heart and kidney, and this is what helps keeps us asleep at night. When the kidney meridian kicks in, it actually reaches up and holds the heart, nourishes the heart, holds it down into the body, and keeps you asleep. Now, where there's a disturbance between kidney and heart, that this waking up to go to the toilet, there's an example of a kidney-heart relationship not working. We always nourish the heart and tonify kidneys. And that's why I keep saying that when you use the term nourish the heart, now it can be a 6 footballer who's got muscle on muscle, you use the term nourish the heart, and they kind of melt. They kind of melt because, hang on, here's a practitioner that he's not only caring about what's wrong with me, I'm treating the body as a whole. Had a beautiful compliment from a patient, secondhand, treated her twice. The person that referred her to me, I said, how's she going? She just said, oh, she's going amazing. She can't believe how generally well she feels. Came in for a back, but she feels great. She's sleeping, she's eating properly, she's using her bowels daily, she's urinating 8 to 10 times a day, she's increased her water intake, and she just feels great. But I was only treating for her back. So this is the difference with Chinese medicine practitioners or acupuncturists. We treat as a whole, not as a single. So we don't just come in, I'll fix that and then ignore everything else. Well, hang on, you're not sleeping properly, you've got heat issues, you've got water issues, and you just want me to fix this? No, sorry, we treat the whole body.
Well, I had an appointment with the cardiologist, cardiothoracic surgeon or whatever he was, but cardio guy, specialist dude, and he says, and so we got into this debate about how my operation was going to happen, because he was telling me we're going through the right venous entry. I said, that won't happen. He goes, we let me finish. And I went, fine. I'll tell you. After you finish telling me what's going to happen, I'll tell you what's going to happen. So we can be okay with that. So right venous entry, blah, 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 and that'll be 3.5 hours on the table. I said, okay, so here's what's going to happen. You need to schedule me last because you're going to have to do a left venous entry. But we don't do that. That's very dangerous. We have to flip you on the table. It's very dangerous to go in through the left-hand side of the like this. But let me finish. I said, and when you get in through the heart, there's a little valve there, right? Little opening, and you're going to go in through the left, and you come right around here, right there. I said, right there, okay? And you'll have it. I said, and you'll never have to see me again, I promise.
Didn't like that.
And he goes, well, do you want to take a bet on that? I said, sure. How much do you want to put up? He says, $100. I said, all right, shake in your hand. You know what I should have done? I should have made him write that down and sign it.
Yes.
So anyway, exactly as I said, he tried 12 times on this side. 12 times. Oh, I felt it when I woke up. I'm like, oh, I feel like my leg's been amputated, you know?
Yeah.
And he walks in and he goes, well, I think we've applied the curative effect and we'll not need to see you again. I said, I told you that. I said, no, you had to go through the left and it took 5.5 hours, like I said it would.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know, the only thing you did wrong was not put me last.
Yep.
Because you've delayed other patients because of that.
Right, okay, hence the yeah. I love it.
It's like, you've inconvenienced the other patients. Not me.
He wouldn't have liked that at
No,
all.
$100. I said, look, if you look on the chart, it shows where you put the X where I said it would be.
Yep.
And you owe me $100.
Yep.
No, he walked out. Oh, walked out the door. Very unhappy.
But
there was a lot of water, heart, you know, fire, water stuff going on at the time.
Correct.
And, you know, the thing that really got me and why I'm bringing this up is they never actually said, how's your iron, Jacquelene?
Oh, okay.
How's your magnesium? Because, you know, you kind of need those for your heart to be steady. And surprise, surprise, I later found out that, in fact, it was really low.
Oh.
Which, of course, you guys would be going, hang on, let's talk about not just the heart, but also let's talk about the chi. Hang on, you're looking a bit flat, Jacquelene. Do you think you might want to get your iron checked?
Yep. And that's why I insist on blood tests too, because not only do we treat what I see, I treat what we don't see.
Yep.
And to get that done, we need blood tests done. And, of course, our parameters are much smaller than Western medicine. So even though the Western medicine doctor will say you're fine, I say to the patient, no, I need to see him. And straight away with another patient, I picked up iron deficiency, B12 deficiency. And funny enough, this patient actually came from a naturopath clinic as a receptionist, and they all said it was fine. I go, no way is this fine.
No.
And, of course, you know, symptoms of tiredness, fatigue, inability to sleep, red tip on the tongue, foggy memory, correct, heavy limbs in the morning, all that kind of spleen, chi deficiency symptoms. But anyway.
And you've even seen, like, you've seen the test results I have, and the doctor said, oh, you're fine, you just need a tablet from the supermarket.
Yep.
And the next week I was in hospital with an iron transfusion from a specialist.
Correct. It annoys me the way they move, and every year they move their parameters too to make their job a lot easier. I just find that disgusting.
Yes.
So as I said, I just tell patients, bring them in, let us read.
I always recommend getting a printout of your results.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Take them to someone you trust.
Yep.
Now we've actually got a caller on the line, being very patient with us. We've got Teresa in Nashville, Tennessee. Are you there, Teresa? We can't hear her.
Can't hear her. Okay.
That's all right.
Anyway, she'll come back.
She'll come back at some point. But yeah, so when we're kind of dealing with water element people, what sort of things can they also, besides what we've talked about, do, I guess, more emotionally? Because we're talking about the physical, but how do they deal with emotionally?
The best thing for water patients to do is actually, or water element patients to be, is actually be near the water.
Yep.
And like be at one with the water, like the rhythmic wave or the stillness of a pond, whatever suits them. So the goers, the politicians, this is the earth is flat, right? The earth is flat, right?
Ah, yeah,
right?
Of course.
So they're the ones that'll be at the beach.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yeah.
And be by the beach and there's always movement. Where those that are not pushy, a bit more subdued and there's a bit of grief involved, they'll feel comfortable near the stillness of a pond.
Yes.
And that's okay too, because the pond is not actually still.
No.
There's more life in there, or just as much life is there as is a wave. So they need to find what suits them the best. And I talk about that with the patient as well. You can pick that up quite quickly. Like diagnosis happens within the first 60 seconds of seeing a patient.
Yep.
Now, my RMIT colleagues and my university lecturers will tell me off and go, no, it takes 30 minutes. Well, some of us can actually do it quite quickly. But anyway.
When you're working with intuition, I guess. Now, we've got Teresa back again. You there, Teresa?
Hello.
Hello, Teresa. Welcome to the show. It's lovely to hear from you. Is there a question you had for Dr. Anthony there as well? And I'll also do a reading.
Ma'am? Hello?
Yep. So was there a question you wanted to ask, or?
The sound going in and out. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, absolutely. Feel free to go for it.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering about, do you see a job coming for me?
It feels like there's been a lot of up and down there with you, and I feel as if you I would say my short answer is yes, there is a job coming for you. I feel like there's change, challenge and opportunity, and I also feel like we're dealing with letting go of a few things at the moment as well on more the emotional level. But it feels to me like there is another role coming for you soon. It can be difficult to hold the positive on that, but it's really important to do that at the moment. Dr. Anthony, what were you also getting there?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing, but I feel there's sadness and pain.
Yep.
Sorry to go down that road, but that's what I'm picking up from you, young Teresa. I don't know if that sits right, but I just feel a lot of sadness there.
Yep. Does that make sense for you, Teresa?
Yes. Well, I'm been a little sad because I'm used to working and I'm not working now.
Exactly.
Self up over.
Dr. Anthony's very right there. It's really important not to be giving yourself a hard time. You do have a lot of perfectionism sort of stuff with you. Like, you really like to give your all to things, and we're talking before about the go of water, and we're sort of hearing a bit of that energy there in a way.
Yeah.
And your the grief around not feeling that you're able to sort of get moving at the moment. What sort of point on the body would Teresa find useful that maybe she can see, like if we can press that while we're here, and she can see them on podcast later?
Sure. Shenman or heart 7 near the wrist. It's a heart nurturing point. Again, we're back to nurturing the heart. And a kidney point, kidney 3, down near the ankle. I can't lift my leg up that high. There's one down near the ankle. More is a ground. I feel she needs to be more grounded.
Definitely.
Yeah. I feel she's a nurse, by the way.
Yep.
She's got great sympathy and great understanding for people around her and her friends, and she enjoys summer.
Definitely enjoys summer. That feels like that. Does that make sense to you, Teresa?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can we ask what your profession normally is?
I was in childcare, but I do not want to do childcare no more. I'm done with that.
Had enough of childcare.
Yes, understandable. I would also feel that other qualifications are going to be something that you're going to do over the next 2 years, and it's going to be really terrific in where that will take you. But yeah, at the moment you can feel really kind of a bit stuck with where you are, but you will get going again. Dr. Anthony was picking up that nursing quality in you, and so there's definitely that nurturing statement in that. Very much a carer, but at the moment needing to care for yourself. So please stop being hard on yourself. Take this one step at a time. There is another role in the short distance future coming up for you, but to me that's like a stepping stone role. It's going to be what pays the bills while you're working towards what you'd really like to do later. So it's going to be important to keep the positives on this at the moment, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Everybody keeps telling me that. That's a little hard, though.
Very, very much so. It is difficult at the moment, and certainly we really feel for you. Now, Dr. Anthony was just picking up on you being arty and crafty, or needing, I would translate that, or needing to be so. Have you been doing any arts and crafts and things like that, or been thinking of doing that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so really...
I was looking at a job about crafting.
Art therapist. Would art therapist be something you would think of doing? Because that would probably be really good for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So have a think about it. But certainly getting into your creative side at the moment will help kickstart your energy, and it'll give you some ideas that might come left of field of how to kind of create some relief for yourself in a situation at the moment. But please stop hammering yourself. That's our message.
Okay.
Absolutely beautiful soul, and we're going to be sending you a lot of healing after the show. You can connect to us as well if you want, Teresa, after the show. Just go on to soulstar.media, and that's where you can find us, but also on the Facebook page. Now, you were going to say?
I was just going to say I feel working with kids with autism is down Teresa's road.
Absolutely, that's another area, because it's kind of that nursing quality once again. It's a caring and nurturing, nursing, training, teaching people.
Working with kids. Yeah, she's a caring soul, so she's on their level. Yeah. I can just see you doing lots of work with children again. Teresa, probably not what you wanted to hear, but... Yeah,
but I think you'll be able to do it in a way that's not irritating to you.
Yeah. More fun.
Right. So have a look at the skills and qualifications you want to go into, because I don't feel there's much of that training to have to do to get a start in in where your next part of this goes. But there is further quite big training you're going to take on later on that's going to take you a lot further. So, give it a real red-hot go. We're sending you all of our love, and we hope you that helps you today, Teresa.
It did. Thank y'all.
Oh, thank you, darling. What a beautiful soul.
Lovely person, yeah.
Absolutely wonderful energy, and really kind of feeling stuff at the moment,
Yep.
And it really goes to that water we were talking about as well,
Correct.
and that real sort of up and down, and there's this rushing in part of her energy, but an absolute stopping in the other.
Correct.
Which
that
is,
could be the earth coming out, the grounding, stopping and going forward, but she wants to be there.
Yeah.
I feel she's like a very homebody too, motherly, nurturing, caring. I must have thought.
Because you're dropping the energy. He's just having a glass of water, which is what we've been starting the show with. So, yes, and we do apologise to people who wanted to get through today, but we could only get through so many callers in a show. But it's been wonderful connecting with you, Teresa, and everyone listening. You can also connect to us through Soulstar Radio. If you Google Soulstar Radio, you'll find the website. You can also find Dr. Anthony on there. There's a link to him and his website, and he does treat people who come and travel to him from all around Australia, and at times people come from overseas.
They do.
So, don't be afraid to reach out if you're wanting to ask a question, if you want to connect with us, if you want Dr. Anthony to cover a particular topic next time he's on, coming from a Chinese medicine level. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for being here again, Dr. Anthony.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on. Look forward to the next time.
We'll be back same time next week, same that time, same that channel.
channel.
Okay, bye.
Bye.